Okay. Good evening. Sorry for the delay. Thank you for those of you who have been patiently waiting. My name's Nicholas Sironka. I come from Kenya, and I come from a tribe known as the Maasai. And the Maasai are one of 42 different tribes that we have in Kenya. We are a country that is astride the equator and lies along the Indian Ocean on the eastern shore of the African continent. We have 42 tribes, meaning that people speak a different language, and hence they practice a different culture. I have grown up in an environment where during the school vacation, I would travel to the village and spend time with my grandmother, with my uncles, with my peers. But I enjoyed very much spending time with the shepherds because our culture is a culture that is predominantly pastoralist. Most of our people go for long distances in search of green pasture for their cows, for their sheep and goats. And the livelihood of the Maasai depends a lot on the well-being of the herds. But it is said that if you ask the Maasai what he would choose between children and cows, he would choose children, because children are said to be a gift from God, that every child born, women will celebrate and say, we have given birth. It is not the birth of one woman's child, but the birth of a child to all of us. And so as you receive gifts on occasions that are celebrations, we also receive children just as gifts. And so we are custodians to the gifts that we get from our Creator. And so today's subject is, why do I recreate art that tells you about my culture? I believe that many times misinterpretations are made about different cultures. Many years ago, I had the occasion of walking down the street of Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya, and I found that there was something depicted about my people that was not right. But I have always had a philosophy from the time I was young that complaining is not enough. It is not good to react to instances that you're not happy with. But it is better to be wise and give a solution to a situation and bring compromise or agreement to what you feel is right. And so I determined to begin portraying the culture of my people through art and to tell about my culture with dignity and truth. And for the past 32 years or so, I have been painting using an art form known as batik. I will leave that lesson on batik art and how I create the art to another day. But today I will touch on the topic that I wish to portray here. This painting is called Feed Me with Words. The words that we speak, the Maasai say, are nourishment for the spirit. When two people meet, they'll say, feed me with words. No Solomon. So one will narrate about himself, about his children, about his cows, about the weather back home. He will take time to tell his friend everything that pertains to his life, ending with a term, and that's the way it is. The other will again take the opportunity to nourish him with words. And once they have done that, then they will go about to do that which brought them together. But words are what hold on to one's heart to help to preserve the culture of the people, and that begins from the time one is a baby. The Maasai teach their children how to speak the language called Maa, because every word has a meaning. And every term that you use, you must know how to apply words to children, words that are spoken to mothers, and words that are spoken to fathers, words that are spoken to your peers. All this is like nourishment. You must know how to direct and what to give when you're speaking. So mothers will begin by singing songs to their children. They will sing songs that help the child to go to sleep. They will sing songs to their children to help them to identify with the voice of their mother. They will sing songs to slowly help them to know the diction, how to translate words, how to speak words clearly, and to articulate sentences as they grow up over time. Because we say that a mother is the best teacher of the child. And mothers will bestow their blessings on their children by calling them by names of endearment. Today, many times I see mothers call their children by names that are not right. You know, the name you give your child is what the child takes up upon himself or herself. If you give a child a name that is endearing, then the child knows that this is the affection and love of my parent. And they grow up trying to emulate or bring pride to their parents. And so children are slowly nurtured in the ways of the Maasai, and they are taught words, because words are nourishment for the spirit. And as they grow up and become people of different families, they will learn that words are important. When we relate to one another, we nourish each other with words. When you visit a sick patient in hospital, you speak words of strength. When you speak to your mother on the phone, speak words that make her know that it was right to bring you up to who you are today. The words that we speak are nourishment. They are words that bring fear to children when you tell them stories that are not right for children. So food, just like you feed a child with food for the child, you cannot take the same food and nourish a grown-up. So it is not right to take food from a grown-up and nourish a small baby with the same portion. So you must weigh your words, because your words become your habits. Your habits become your personality. And your personality, if there are many of you, then your society becomes just one. That is an indication of every word that you use. Let us use our words to care about one another. Let us nourish each other with words that build, words that we can be proud of in public and in private. Because of the words we use, everyone grows up to be proud of where they come from, to be proud to be associated to the family they are coming from, or they shun the place they come from and say, I would rather be so far away. The Maasai have also never had a written alphabet. We do not have an alphabet like the Roman alphabet. We only have words. And so songs were composed. From the beginning of a child's birth, songs were sung. To the time an adult is grown and has children, songs are sung. Because songs compose and tell about things that are happening now. They tell about things that happened before, and they tell about our hopes for the future. When we sing, we compose a song that is tonal, because our language is tonal. We cannot change the lyrics of a song, because when you change the lyrics, then you have changed the meaning of the story. So to maintain a story or a happening that took place, the Maasai have always composed songs, narrating instances, telling about events, telling about individuals, telling about the weather, everything that surrounds their life. They compose songs and they sing about them for generations to come. And when you hear a song, you hear a story of something that happened years before. And those songs are still sung by the Maasai even today. And as the young men sing these songs, they jump. They jump and compete to see who jumps the highest. Because to jump means you are celebrating. And when you celebrate, sometimes one will jump higher than the other. But that is not something to be afraid of. Because in life, there is always a competition for who is better than the other. Without competition, how will you know how good you are? How will you know how to become better at what you're doing tomorrow? You must have competition and celebrate competition. Because without competition, you can never be a better person tomorrow. So the Maasai sing, and they tell and articulate incidences that took place, and they tell each other, let us celebrate life. Because the color that we wear is predominantly red. Red is the color of celebrating life because that which flows within us is red. We say that, does the shell of a fruit tell you the taste inside? Because sometimes we meet with one another and we have differences because we look different, because our complexions are different, our religions are different. And yet you can have two fruits that look identical. And when you peel them to eat, they taste different. And you and I, we look different. We look different only on the outside, but when somebody is to go inside, that which beats to give us life must beat at the same rhythm. That which flows within us is the same color. Why then are you worried about the exterior when on the inside we are the same? And when we check the warmth of your blood, the warmth of your body, we have to be the same to be sought and told that we are well. Because when the temperature is too high or too low, then something is not right. So we should not be distinguishing each other and running away from each other and shunning each other just because we look different on the outside. And all this is encapsulated, put together in words that the Maasai sing, that we must celebrate having each other as companions, having each other as friends. And so that is why the Maasai, when they have a wedding, they share, they exchange cows and goats. Because when your cows can graze where my daughter is married, I will have no animosity against you because you are taking care of my daughter. And when your cows come to graze in my place, you will also feel welcomed because we are in-laws. And so the Maasai, for many generations, continue to compose songs. They continue to tell stories and riddles to their children, and also narrate stories of the past and the present and the future to one another through words, because words are nourishment for the spirit. So I say to you, try to say something nice to someone else today. Try to think of who you have offended by word and just speak back over those words by saying something different. We have a belief that sometimes at the end of the day, ask yourself, have I said one good thing to someone else today? Have I complimented someone before the sunset? If your answer is yes, you have made this world a better place. If your answer is no, then you have two things to do tomorrow. Pray that you rise up and say two good things to someone else. Because if we each contribute to making this world a better place, the first place to begin is in the words that we speak. And when you sing, it is okay to sing loudly. Do not judge your songs. Just be aware of the words that you sing. Because what you sing reaches the hearts of many around you. I hope that I have articulated the true meaning of words as we speak them in Maasai culture. And I try my best to represent every facet of our culture through paintings, large paintings, that show you the traditional lifestyle. In Kenya, we do have schools, we have colleges, we have doctors, we have a president, we have leadership that is modern, but we also have those of us who still live and carry out life traditionally, and we are proud of it. But I don't come here to tell you that my culture is better than yours. I don't come here to be ethnocentric. I am just here to share what I am with you and hope that you will share what you are with me so that we can all make this place a better world for all of us. Thank you very much and have a good night.